So why were you worried that you were talking to like a Chris Hansen thing?
No problem.
I know that you texted that you were gonna, was it eat the kitty, is that what you said? Yeah.
The Trump says.
How old was the person that you were talking to?
He insinuated they were 15.
It's 7 p.m. in Bernalillo County, New Mexico, where one suspected predator is about to take the bait and end up behind bars.
Hands up! Face the car. Keep against the car. Stop.
Police identify the man seen here as 28-year-old Rafael Rosas, who showed up at this home after allegedly chatting online with an undercover law enforcement agent posing as a 15-year-old girl. But when he arrived, investigators said he nervously drove by the house twice before parking and shining his flashlight out of the window while texting who he believed to be a minor to come outside. Next, officers escort Rafael into the home before asking him a few questions.
How will we end up here today?
No comment.
No comment?
Yeah.
Yeah? I guess that's a big question for me. It just seems like an odd place for you to show up in a house full of a bunch of cops. Yeah. Okay. Well, I can give you a little bit of background and correct me where I'm wrong. But my understanding is you were talking to someone today on that. Which app or which site were you talking on?
No app.
No app?
Text.
Text?
Yeah.
Okay. And who were you talking to?
Apparently police.
Police?
Yeah.
All right. Who do you think you were talking to?
Who knows? Who knows?
I'm sorry, my hearing's bad, man.
Who knows?
Who knows? Okay.
Could have been anybody.
What kind of stuff did you talk about?
Just everything. Range. Look out, coke stab me. Words. Everything. This would be. Yeah, some validating evidence.
Yeah.
That was coke stab me, apparently.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you say you're coaxed into saying things that you said?
Texted. Yeah.
Okay. What kind of things did they say that coax you into saying those things?
Just keep incriminating. Just keep prodding.
They did, the person you're talking to?
Yeah.
Okay. Like what kind of stuff were they doing in front of you?
Just keep. What are we gonna do? Oh, is that it? Okay. Keep prodding. And after that, no comment.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's probably not a surprise to you, but I obviously know what was said in those chats. I have the chat log, right? So at one point, I know that you texted that you were gonna, was it eat the kitty, is that what you said? Yeah.
The Trump says. You know?
Like Trump says?
Yeah. All those immigrants, I'm an immigrant. I'm gonna eat cats.
You're gonna eat cats?
Yeah.
Okay.
And dogs, too.
And what did they say to coax you into saying that?
What are we gonna do?
And that made you want to say,
Yeah.
okay.
What Trump says.
You heard that right. The detective asks Rafael about some of the text exchanges when the 28-year-old is quick to deflect and offer up a, let's just say, interesting excuse.
By the way, what do the body cams on Law and Crime prove? Maybe that the world is
unpredictable. And sometimes when those scary and unpredictable situations arise, having a great lawyer matters, right? Well, that is where our partner and sponsor, Morgan & Morgan, comes in. No, it's not just a place that makes really good hats. This one actually fits me well. No, it's a firm with over 1,000 attorneys. You know why they have so many? Because they win a lot. Past few months, Morgan & Morgan secured a $29 million verdict for a bicyclist in Philadelphia, a $2.7 million verdict for a car accident victim in Florida, and $5.6 million for a car crash victim in Georgia, after insurance offered that client $0. And even if you think your case isn't worth millions of dollars, why not start a claim and fight for what you deserve? And Morgan & Morgan makes it so simple. You can start a claim from your phone in just 8 clicks. So if you're injured, you can easily start a claim at forthepeople.com/LC BodyCam, or click the link in the description and pinned in the comments.
Okay.
No.
How old was the person that you were talking to?
He insinuated they were 15.
Okay. When you say insinuated, what do you mean?
They said.
They said they were 15?
Yeah.
Okay. So not just saying, well, maybe not. They said they're 15.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, what were you planning on doing once you got here?
Just hanging out, smoking. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smoking
Vape.
vape? Okay. And the reason I ask these questions, man, is like I can't make any guesses in my line of work, right? I don't want to make any assumptions. So there might be something that I read, or you might say you're smoking, and I want to understand what you mean by that, right? So I know vapes can have a whole lot of different things. Are you talking like nicotine or?
Yeah, vape. Nicotine.
Okay. Anything else?
No.
No? Okay.
I have some marijuana. That's personal for me. I have a medical card as well.
Yeah. No good number one. It's not even really one.
Yeah.
Even before it was, no one cared about it for a long time. What made you so nervous about showing up here?
This is the trap, man. This is the trappiest house I've ever seen. You pull up to a random spot with what I have. You get blasted. See my gold chain, my watch, and
Yeah. You worried about getting robbed?
yeah.
Okay. Because I'll be honest, like most people, when they're showing up for dates or whatever, they're not like just hanging out. They're not running laps around the neighborhood. They're not parking out front for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, if they're showing up to the date, they show up to the date.
Yeah, yeah. And then when the person shows up to the date, usually goes out to say hello or
Yeah.
normal.
And I know in the chats you were talking about like Chris Hansen. Tell me about that.
Yeah. Hansen. Did you see that cartoon?
The cartoon?
Boondocks?
No, I've heard of Boondocks, but
With the booty warrior?
no, I never really watched it.
I thought it was yours.
Okay. So why were you worried that you were talking to like a Chris Hansen thing?
No comment.
No comment? Okay.
Now, the detective brings up a text where Rafael allegedly tells the undercover agent, quote, "That feels Chris Hansen-y." But the suspect's spidey senses weren't enough to deter him from showing up to the residence.
Okay. Then I'll tell you what it seems to me is you seem really nervous that you were chatting with a 15-year-old. You're going to show up to a house to meet a 15-year-old, and you're talking about eating kitty for a 15-year-old. You see how the totality of all that together makes it seem like you were coming here to engage in some kind of sexual relation with a 15-year-old.
No comment. I was eating kitty like Trump and dogs, and we came. I would have just chilled. That's it.
You think that's a reasonable story?
reasonable beyond belief, but acceptable.
So you think some part of that story is unreasonable?
Yeah.
Which part stands out as unreasonable to you?
What the lawyers and the judge decide.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I know at one point, it wasn't just eating kitty, it was licking.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Like, as in kitty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same like cats as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
What cats were you going to lick? What do you got here?
Street cats.
Street cats?
Random cats, yeah. This is a very ghetto place. There's cats all over the place.
Okay. You seen the weird outfit?
Yeah. Saw a couple down the street over there.
Yeah. I mean, I'm having trouble letting this story.
Yeah, me too.
Why? I'll be honest, like,
Just walk in circles, man.
say again?
I think we're just gonna walk in circles here.
Well, so here's the thing. Like, the reason I'm coming out and I'm talking about this stuff directly, right? Like, I could beat around the bush and I could pretend like we don't know what we know, right? And you can pretend like you don't know what you don't know.
Could we have this interview? Could I be on my way now?
So,
If we know what we know, then
well, part of my job is to figure out how we got here, right?
you know exactly how we got here. Could
Well,
I interview? Could I be on my way?
I'm curious about your background.
You probably have it all off of my ID.
Well, I do have a good amount of background on you, right? Like, I'm not completely ignorant.
Don't need to know.
But I'm just wondering what in your past led you into texting with a 15-year-old today?
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing?
No.
Have you ever, have you ever had any kind of relations with a juvenile before?
No.
No?
Rafael tries to talk his way out of the situation, but detectives aren't having that.
And I'm just wondering if there's anything like in your past
No.
that led you here today.
No.
No? Alright. Because I'm just a dumb cop, man. I like to learn.
Me too.
I like to be enlightened.
Me too.
And I feel like talking to you today could
Enlightened.
teach me something.
No, I'm not a teacher, brother. I'm sorry.
Well, everyone's got something to teach. Alright. Alright. So the phone that you were chatting on,
That's mine.
what's that?
That's mine.
It's your phone?
Yeah.
Where's that phone now?
It was in the car.
In the car?
I left it right there.
Okay.
Yeah. One of my keys.
So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to get a search warrant for your car. Alright? And then what I'm gonna do from there is I'm gonna get a search warrant for your phone.
Yeah.
Is there anything related to all of this that I would find once I get into your phone?
No.
No? Other than the text messages?
Yeah. Just a couple more. Like penis pictures of mine, a couple more pornographic videos I made with a couple girls, a couple flash pictures I guess.
It's all pretty normal, to be honest. I get into people's phones basically on a weekly basis. And, part of the job, we have to review that stuff. If it's personal use, whatever, we don't care. My worry is, like, are there any photos of juveniles or anything on the phone?
No.
Okay. Is there going to be any evidence showing that you were talking with any other juveniles on the phone?
No.
No? Okay.
Moments later, the detective decides it's time to be frank with the suspect.
I'll say in my experience, you're probably going to jail, right? Like, I'm not going But I'm not gonna say 100% because that would be a lie. I don't know 100%. So at this point, we have to push through that paperwork. We got to get you transported, and then if you're getting booked in, you'll be able to make that phone call. If you're not getting booked in, I am seizing your phone. You're gonna have to find another phone to make a phone call. All right.
Do you have any kids?
Yeah.
Where are they right now?
At home.
What? So
No. With their mom.
with their mom?
Yeah.
How old are they?
3 and 1.
Rafael now reveals he has 2 kids under the age of 4, alarming investigators.
How long have you guys been separated?
A year now?
A year.
That's proof.
You share custody?
No.
No. She have full custody?
Yeah.
Do you have a good contact number for her?
That's in my phone.
Okay. The reason being, I have to do this through lefty referral. It's required of me whenever there's an investigation involving children. We're mandatory reporters, so we have to reach out and make sure all the kids surrounding you are safe. So, I think that's about all I got for now. Did you have any other questions?
No.
All right. Well,
Do you live with anyone?
My dad.
Your dad? That's it? There's nobody else in your home?
No.
that's about it. We're not this paperwork out. Go ahead, that's up here.
Family services connect with the children to ensure their safety, while another detective steps in to chat with Rafael.
What's your dad gonna say? No clue. How many times have you been arrested?
Twice now.
Is this number 2 or number 3? Number 2.
I live right there next to my block is right here. Look.
What's wrong with that?
I don't want to say that, but if they are registry, I think I might have to move it.
You think?
Well, it's the very next block over here.
The registry?
Yeah.
For the
Middle school.
because you can't be within. Is that what that means? I don't know.
I don't know what the rules are.
Oh, for the sex offender registry? Yeah. I don't know. I don't know the rules either. I work in that unit.
This is a different unit.
I'm in the special victims unit with the sheriff's office, so. The sex offender registry team is a different unit than my unit. They do work within the sheriff's office, but I don't know what the rules are. I don't make those rules.
Rafael now says he'll likely, quote, have to move due to living near a middle school before coming to another realization.
I wouldn't say that. Lots of people who have done worse things see their kids. I can tell you that. Lots of people. I've seen it myself. There's lots of different things that can happen. I mean, not the end of the world right now, no? You didn't hurt anybody, right? Oh. It seems rough, but you didn't hurt anybody. So, I've seen people who've hurt people, who've killed people, still see their kids, right? They didn't hurt anybody. They might be right, but it could be worse.
Seconds later, officers decide it's time to get Rafael on his way to jail.
Just looking for someone with you outside. Whose cuffs are these?
They were. We can't.
Oh, well, how just watch your step. There we go. Do you have cuffs? Yeah. We'll just switch them out. One of the holes is up and one of the holes is down, so. Can you stand right here and stretch your feet? Let me get that. That's something like that. Can you pull it up away?
Rafael was taken to jail and booked for child solicitation by electronic communication and attempt to commit criminal sexual penetration. Court records show he later accepted a deal and pleaded guilty to the solicitation charge while the other charge was dismissed. He was sentenced to 9 months behind bars and ordered to register as a convicted sex offender.